Awesome. So I believe that we are live. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me today. I'm very, very grateful. Hi, everyone. If you're joining us, my name is Adeola Fayon, and I am here today with my father. He's the Commissioner for Information in Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho. We will be talking about real estate in Nigeria, especially in Lagos. We'll be talking about whether or not it is safe to invest in Lagos. We've been seeing a lot of demolitions happening lately in Lagos, and we want to know whether or not it is safe to even invest. We'll be covering things like what should you look for if you're trying to buy land in Lagos, if you're trying to buy properties in Lagos, and how do you know an authentic CFO. Also, we'll be talking about if you have land that you have not developed in years, should you be worried or not? And I will ask a few questions and then I will open it up for my audience to ask their questions. Once again, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho is the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Lagos State. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, sir, we've been seeing a lot of demolitions happening in Lagos State. If someone outside of Nigeria, for example, is interested in investing in Lagos or they have properties in Lagos, should we be worried or not?
There is no need to get worried at all. There's no anxiety about it. We just don't go demolishing people's property for fun. What you have seen, they are property that are built on either the right of way of a road or the right of way of a drainage. All over the world, people are worried about climate change. People are worried about global warming. People are worried about flooding all over the place. We are seeing things that we've never seen before. Dubai, for example, has been flooded. So many places in Europe have lost people because of flooding. And in Lagos, we are trying to prevent this. And all of the people who have built houses on drainage channels, they've been asked to remove them. If you don't remove such houses, the government will come and remove it for you. But the thing is that of all the demolition, nobody can come out to claim that he or she has a right to build where the property has been removed by the government. So it's not something to worry about. So long as you are doing something that is legal, that is lawful, that is by all the regulations, and then you know the ABC of what you do, and you do it rightly, nobody is going to demolish your property. So there is no need to get anxious about such a news.
What about instances like the landmark beach front property and the fact that the owner had talked about how he was not duly informed of what was going to happen until they started the demolition? A lot of people would say that there are civilized ways of going about these things. Just for people to know, what you are saying is that none of the demolition that you're doing in Lagos State is against the law, and all the owners already know that they are building in the right of way.
We live in a civilized society. If your property is going to be demolished because it's on the right of way of a road and you have a document to back it up, the government will compensate you. They will give you money. They won't leave you to your own devices. The particular instance that you have mentioned, the people were told, I think in about 2009, when they were being given that place, that this is the right of way of a road. And you are given land and not the beach. And with all the noise about a landmark and all of that, all of us were waiting for the day that the government will go and demolish whatever they wanted to demolish there, and we will see the property that have been demolished. And lo and behold, on the day of demolition, they just took away what I can call a makeshift places that people can come to when you go to sheds, what I can call sheds. No property, if you go there today, landmark is still standing. I think the problem is that the owners of landmark, what they were selling to people is the beachfront. And they feel that if you take away the beachfront, there is no attraction again in the whole area. I do not blame them for that. But the way they have gone about it is the one that is wrong, to be just making noise as if you built a 40-story building or even one-story building and the government was going to bring it down. So at the end of the day, no building came down, only sheds. So the access to the water is what they were fighting for, which of course they wouldn't be able to win because the road had to pass through that place. So if anybody outside Nigeria is using that as a symbol of government irresponsibility or government illegality, I think it is very wrong.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm trying to open up for people to join us so that they can ask you questions. But if anybody wants to buy land in Lagos today, after seeing all that has been going on, how do we know what is authentic, what is not? Who approves the build, the construction, the lands? Where should somebody go if they know a realtor that is trying to sell them properties? Where should they go when it comes to government bodies to verify the authenticity of what the person is trying to sell them?
Things have really changed. Today, Lagos government has tried as much as possible to make electronic land information, so that when people are looking for land to buy or you want to check the authenticity of a property you want to buy, you can go online and find. So that system is still being fine-tuned. But apart from that, there are agencies of government. We are Ministry of Lands there. You go there, they can chart the place for you and see whether it's government acquisition or it's private property or somebody has owned the property before. Everything is there. Apart from that, we have Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, LASRERA. These are people who look after all of the property that you can talk about in Lagos, property developers, property estate practitioners. They are all registered with this agency. So if you want to do any business with any of these people, you can just contact this agency. They will show you whether the person is registered or not, whether the property or she wants to sell to you is good to buy, to be bought or not. Or if you want to complain about anybody who has sold something that is a dummy, something that is not good enough, you can complain to Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, and they will go in there and retrieve your money for you. But as I said, if you go online, all of the things you need to know about buying property in Lagos, about investing in Lagos, you will see them. So gone are the days when people cannot communicate and get in touch with one another to see who is doing what and at where. So it is very simple. Just go online. If you want to build, you don't want to build in a place where you shouldn't build, you get to Ministry of Fiscal Planning. They have to sign all of the papers you want to use. They look at your plan. They look at your architectural plan. They look at everything, the building plan, and then they sign off for you. Then you can go and build. If such a building is demolished, then the government will pay.
So there has been instances where some landowners or investors have complained that they actually thought that the approval they got was legit because it was gotten from a government body. Have you heard anyone complain about instances like that where they actually went to some of these government institutions for approval and got some approval that they thought was authentic? I've had people that complain that they actually thought that they were doing the right thing. Has anyone complained of something like this to your ministry, sir?
Well, I think I've not heard about that somebody has fake papers, because the government office is an open place. You go to the place, and then if you employ a professional architect, a professional builder, a professional engineer, all the documents you will get, they will have the stamp of all these associations there. So it is very easy to trace those documents whether they are genuine or not. So if you go to a quack, especially if you are not going to government agency to get your papers, it is very easy to fall into the hands of quacks. And quacks, they are everywhere and all over the world. It's not only something that is exclusive here. But in terms of land, it's a huge investment. It's not easy in Lagos for you because of all the conditions that are put there. It's not easy for anybody to just fall into the hands of quacks, because the government office is very open. Then the stamp that they will put there, the signature of the man who will sign, all of these are verifiable uh, documents that one can see that the document you are carrying is genuine, not fake, not the one obtained from one marketplace.
Thank you, sir. So I'm going to ask one more question and then I would leave the floor open for people to join us. The governor recently talked about people who have properties or land that they have not developed in years, that they need to repossess their lands. Do you have anything to say to people about this? If someone has a plot of land that they did not develop in Lagos, are they facing the possibility of losing it to Lagos State or not?
When the governor was talking about undeveloped property, he was not actually talking about land. He was talking about buildings. There are so many abandoned buildings in Lagos. We have taken an inventory of such buildings. I think about 2 years ago, when the security problem was at its highest, 2 3 years ago in Nigeria, and then we were seeing certain things. We were getting security reports that people were coming to Lagos. As you know, Lagos is a subnational. We don't have any right to stop Lagosians or even West Africans coming into Lagos not to stay. And people come in droves every day. So all of these buildings, they have been using them to stay in there. And then security intelligence was telling us that people who are of a questionable character, they were using all these buildings. So the government now used the opportunity to call on the owners of such property to develop them or forfeit them to the government. But today, none has been forfeited to the government. The security situation is better than it is. And then we are still calling on them to come and develop such property so that Yoruba people say a house that has no door, that is where the mad people run into. And we don't want that kind of thing in Lagos. People just hanging around, doing nothing, and then sleeping in such places and waking up in the dead of the night to launch attack on people. You pass through some areas, you get harassed by people who are not supposed to be there because there is a building there that has been abandoned for ages. This is what the government is saying. It's not that you have a building and it's legitimately built and government or is there, you still don't have money to develop it and you can't give it to a developer and government will move in there, take it over or demolish. It's not so. It's just for security reasons.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm pulling in comments from people. This person is saying that you listed a number of offices that people have to go to verify before making their purchase. And they're wondering, where do we even start? Also, does Lagos State government have maybe on the government's website like a portal for if you're trying to buy land, these are the list of offices that you should go to. And do these offices, do they all work together or people have to be going physically from one office to another before they know exactly whether or not what they are trying to buy is legit?
Well, every office has its own function, and it's also like what they are talking about building a house. You have to go from the foundation. From the foundation, you go to laying of the blocks before you get to the roofing and doing the finishing. So, in buying land in Lagos, you start from the Ministry of Land to go and verify whether the land you want to buy is genuine or not. So Ministry of Lands will be able to chart the place for you. They'll be able to look at it and assure you that it's has no encumbrance. They can even tell you there is a court litigation on such property so that you won't go into it. So the first place you go to is Ministry of Lands. When you go to the office of a lands department, they show you everything that you need to know about the property in which you are interested. So after that, it is for you to whether you're going to go ahead or you want to stop it. But everything that we need to know about it, they have the records, all property in Lagos.
Ministry of Land is where to start. So, sir, I'm going to let people in like I promised, but real quick, I think just for to put things in context, I'm going to play a video real quick to ask you a question. I will not be showing the video for copyright issues, but I will be playing part of it. In this video, Sir Pastor Matthew Ashimolo was talking about his property that he's selling, and then at some point, sir, he made mention that the government of Lagos technically owns the land in Lagos. So I'm going to play where he said that so that you can react to it.
Every time a call comes from Lagos, your mind is not at peace, or the one which you know that it's true.
I'm letting people in while I'm getting that video ready. Please, if you'd like to join us, I'm posting the link for you to join us in the description. Please join us so that you can ask him question. I also want to beg of everybody that is joining us, please and please be civil, because I'm seeing all kinds of comments in the comment section. um, we are not here to attack the honorable minister. We want him to come back on the show. We want him to answer our questions. So if you've had favorable experience owning land or owning property in Lagos, don't take it out on him. Let him do his job to answer our questions today, and we want him to come back. So please, when you ask your questions on the show, ask it. You don't have to fight with him while you're asking your questions. So I put the link in the comment section on Facebook, on YouTube. Click that link, and then you'll be able to join us in the studio. Esa, does Lagos State actually own the land in Lagos? Are people actually buying from Lagos? Or when people buy land in Lagos, do they actually get to own that land? Is it actually theirs? Or is it just being leased to them for 90 years or things like that? We've heard about all that. Do you mind talking about that, please?
All land is vested in the governor by virtue of the land use decree all over Nigeria. The state government has control over land. So everybody who buys land anywhere at one point or the other, we will have to have something to do with the government, because we need to regularize the papers of such land. And that is what the Lagos State Ministry of Fiscal Planning is doing nowadays, and giving people 90 days room to regularize the papers of their land. So if you have bought any land, you bring such papers to the Ministry of Fiscal Planning before you start building. Or even if you have started building without obtaining approval, they will tell you what to do and then give you the normal papers, so that it is only when you have a paper backing the property that the property has a value. So like I said, all land all over Nigeria is vested in the government by virtue of the land use decree.
That doesn't mean that the governor is just regulating and approving. It means that they own it.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. By virtue of that law, land is vested in the government. So if a family, for example, sells land to you, you will still need to go to the government before you do anything on that land. If you want to build, you will still need to obtain papers to build. If you want to resell or whatever you want to do,
So
you will still
I
need to
guess
get
I guess my
government papers.
question is, so is it now mine after I pay for it, or can the government come tomorrow and say, you know what, we need this land?
You know, it comes from somebody to another. It's like buying any other commodity. So once
So
you
the
buy,
government
the
will buy
person gives
from
you a
me.
receipt. Once you buy, the government, they give you a receipt. So
Mhm.
for you now to be able to do something, because all of the land that the government has acquired, for example, they cede some areas to the original owners of the land, the people that are called Omonile, the ancestral owners of the land. They give them a portion of it. The remaining belongs to the government. So it's the government that will sign off for anybody who buys land eventually when it gets to the point that you need to use the land. So the government will have to sign off for you. And it's a decree, I've forgotten the year now, it's been long. Land use decree. That is the law in
I
Nigeria.
think 1978 or something.
Something like that.
Okay, the first person we have on, his name is Akinwumi Taufik. Mr. Taufik, thanks for joining us. Please go straight to your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for adding me up. I want to appreciate our guests, uh, Mr. Benga. Thank you so much. Now, my question is this. There are a lot of land. I think there was a time, because I have a land at Ikorodu area. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you
Uh,
now.
okay, good. There are a lot of land in Ikorodu. Basically, we have one at, I think, Agede or so, um, where we only have the Omonile stuff, Omonile, uh, what will I call it, document, but honest, nothing done through the government. And it's over 15 or 20 years now. What do you think can be done? Because at the time, I think the Omonile threatened that they want to resell the place, we are not right like that. But later they calmed everything down. Because a lot of all these are fathers, they really don't uh, process the right documents from the government. What should be done about that, sir? Thank you.
Yeah, it's very simple. Since you have the receipt of the Omonile, then you now go to the government to perfect everything. You go to the land department where they will give you government document that the land belongs to you. The Omonile people, what they do is that when people are trying to build, they come and meet you that you should give them money, you want to do foundation,
Exaggerate
you want
all
to
the
do
time.
the roofing and all of that. All such nuisance, they do all of that. But once you have the government paper with you, there's nothing anybody can do. The government CFO is the Bible, is everything that you need to get about that land. So what you guys should do is to go to the office of land to regularize it. That's all.
And
They
what
have
they
sold it
ask
to you, you have
us,
their receipt.
is it the receipt that we're going to take them? Or do we need
Yes, you
surveyors?
take the receipt there. You take the receipt and the survey there. The survey, the government will look at the survey, they will stamp it for you. You will regularize the survey and it will be registered in the office of land in your name.
Okay, that's a very good one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
question.
okay.
Really appreciate it. Huh?
Can I go on? Just one more, please.
Please make it quick. There are others trying to
Okay.
ask.
All right. Now, sir, please let me verify this because I've had before you start building it. That is always good. You have a kind of a approved plan of what you want to construct on that land. Is it really that important? And what government agency is in charge of that, sir?
It's a Ministry of Fiscal Planning.
Okay,
So you
physical
take
plan.
it, you get an architect to draw it for you, then you take it to the Ministry of Fiscal Planning. Now the Ministry of Fiscal Planning will look at the drawing, they will look at the structural aspect of it, they will look at the engineering aspect of it, they will certify it okay that you can build it.
And it should
Because
be
if you don't
done
have
before
that,
you start building. Okay. Go on, sir.
if you don't have that signed off by the fiscal planning unit, you don't have the right to go and start building. Why? That is why, because buildings are falling. And that is why the government is saying now, you have 90 days. If you have started building without papers, or you have even built without papers, bring whatever you have. Let us see how we can regularize everything for you. If there is need for us to go and do an inspection of your building that you have put up without papers, we go and look at it and then ask you to adjust something or not, just for us to be able to prevent buildings from falling down.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your
That's good.
question. Um,
All right. Thank
I'm
you.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm going to let in others. Just so you know, I didn't know you are in the studio. Bayo, you are in the studio. Olumide and Bayo, please turn on your video cameras because I can't see them. And Benedict, you are also in the studio. While I'm bringing in those other people, real quick, Edward Adeshino is saying that it's taking forever to get the document from the government, that he's been waiting for 2 years and counting. What happens when it's taking so long to get approval or to get your papers from the government, sir?
Now, I do not know the kind of document he's trying to get.
And
And like
Edward,
I
try
said
to come
before,
on the show. Try to come on the show and explain the kind of document you're trying to get. Keep going, sir.
like I said before, we are trying now to make everything electronic so that wherever you are in the world, you can make inquiries about land administration in Lagos. You can also write whatever your request is, and then there can be all sorts of transaction online without you even coming physically. So all of that we are trying to perfect in Lagos, and it's part of the ease of doing business that we are trying to do in Lagos. So if it's taking longer, as he has said, it could be because of the manual aspect of it, which is fast changing now in Lagos. But it also depends on, I do not know the kind of document he's trying to get that is taking 2 years. I don't understand. Because if you send somebody to the registry, land registry, they can check for you why the document is not out. They will tell you. If it's something that it has to do with litigation, they will let you know. Whatever reason that is delaying it, they will let you know. But if there is no encumbrance, it doesn't take time much.
I'm happy that you talked about that, sir, because I was also wondering why, or if everything could be digitalized so that people can just do everything online in this age. So thanks for touching on that. Mr. Adeniran, thank you so much for coming on the show. Please ask your question.
Thank you, my sister. I want to thank the Honorable Commissioner, sir, for the program. I just joined it. I just joined anyway because I'm just driving. So I decided to just hop into the conversation. Just a quick one, sir. I want to ask this question. Why can't the Lagos State government, I know the Land Use Act is still in force, the 1978 Land Use Act, as promulgated by the then military head of state. Why can't, I don't know whether it's through legislation they're going to do that anyway. The Land Use Act, I can see that act has a lot of defects. Because it's like when you purchase a land, it's either freehold or under leasehold. Because now you see that people are becoming agitated when it comes to people buying their land. Note that some people, because if you start talking about they'll say, well, you will come to your house to put a gun on your head to buy those lands. So why you guys are complaining? So why can't we adopt, or let me just, it's kind of a suggestion I'm trying to if the state government or the state governor or whatever can input that into the legislation of the state in such a way that maybe instead of selling those land outrightly, we just have the model of leasing of the land. Say after 20 years or after 25 years is kind of a renewable. So that means that you don't own the land absolute. Say the government is going to be 99 years, isn't it? And the leasehold could be like 10, 20 years, 30 years, as the case may be. So why can't we adopt that model of the kind of, like, because here in the UK, the king owns the land, or the government owns the land. Here we pay ground rent up to the end of your life, even though you transfer the kind of right of ownership of that land after your time is, this your heirs, you still have to pay the ground rent. So why can't we adopt that issue of, instead of that kind of outright ownership of land, that the state government can adopt this model of just leasehold. You own the land for a period of maybe for 2 decades or 3 decades, then reversible. They can review the ownership of the land, not that person will own the land absolute. Then the second question I don't know. It was something you were discussing about the land.
I think you should let him answer one question.
Okay,
Your question has because it's gotten so long. Let him at least answer that question first. Sorry.
Okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
All right, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeniran.
Yes, sir.
What you say is being done in UK where you are is not quite different from what we do here in Nigeria. But what you are advocating, so many people have advocated to, that think in Nigeria you have about 90 years leasehold, and then which is a renewable. I have seen some documents being brought to land department for people who are asking that the land they forefathers bought so time, they want it renewed, and then the governor will sign for them and all of that. So what people are advocating is what you are saying to that. Why not 20 years? Why not 25 years? It's not as if somebody owns land perpetually. No, it's not done like that. It's also by lease, like you have said. But there have been so many suggestions along the line of what we are talking about. And then in Lagos, we had a seminar a few weeks ago about something like a law reforms seminar. And I think it's one of the points that were raised there. So I do not know whether it has been listed already by the Ministry of Justice about some of those things you are talking about. For how long can one have a leasehold, and when is it renewable, and all that and all that. But I think it's a very valid point, which I think is on the table of the Ministry of Justice, but I am not quite sure about what they want to suggest about it or what they want to do about it.
Okay, that is noticed. I understand what you're trying to say, because myself, I'm into the real estate, because I'm a graduate real estate surveyor anyway. So the other question I want to ask, sir, is about the coastal road. This landmark issue is like, because according to, I was listening to Engineer Umahi on television, where he was saying that, I think, is it 250 meters from the shorelines into the interland is owned by the government. Is it by the federal government or by the state government? Is it particular? I don't know. Is it 250 meters? That's from the shoreline, that from the end of the mouth of the sea to the interland is owned by the government. So is it by government, federal government? That is one. And for that man, the landmark, I don't think the main building is affected. I think it's just the beach area that is really affected. So if that man is like, because different interview he had with other people,
Can you
like,
try to make it quick, the question?
oh, okay, sir. That's the one. I just want to ask about that. Then I don't know if you permit me just to change this.
Sorry, there's so many others I need to ask them.
Okay. Just a quick one. I think the minister can.
Make it quick.
Yeah. Then the honorable minister can also say this. Then when is the red line going to commence? Really, that is the question I'm gonna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. The very first question you asked about the beach line, I think people are now interested in about on the beach because of landmark. But all I know and all I have seen after the whole thing is a landmark is a storm in a teacup, because you have said that landmark, you saw that it wasn't demolished. It's the beachfront that was demolished. The beachfront is something that is an added advantage to landmark. It wasn't something that was sold to landmark, because the people who sold land to landmark, they had no right to sell the beachfront. Like you said, it belongs to the federal government. But what landmark was selling to people is the fact that you could come into their facility and from there you jump onto the beach and swim or whatever you want. But government will not say, because of this leisure, you are not going to build a route that will benefit so many thousands of people. So at the end of the day, all of the people thought landmark was going to demolish. By the time they got there, the next day, and they saw the landmark was still standing. Then they started asking the question, why the noise? So talking about the red line is up and running. We are doing what we call a test run now. And that's what we did about the blue line too. When you start a rail service, it can't stop again. So you have to make sure that everything up to the last point is checked to dot the I's, and then you cross the T's very well. And then what we are doing now is test run, and then we'll be taking very soon various groups on test run, as we did during the blue line. So in a couple of months, maybe 2-3 months, it should be open to passenger service. But it's running already. It has started running.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeniro, for all your questions. We really have I'm sorry. I need to let in others. I have to be fair. So sorry. Your line is actually breaking.
On those. I remember when Governor Sanwo-Olu went to those one of those bridges, and one day they shouldn't be walking on those rail line corridors. And even up till now, people are still working on that. Sir, myself talking to you, I work with the underground here in London. You can never see somebody walking on the rail corridor. And I love the idea of Lagos State government by trying to erect physical barrier. That's I'm talking about the fence. So we need to enforce that. Work in collaboration with the Nigerian Railway Corporation that anybody found on that, maybe there should be a bylaw, a railway bylaw, in collaboration with the railway police. You don't work, or if anybody found on that corridor, it doesn't matter. If you got caught, 6 months imprisonment minimum. Because I don't know why people are so.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeniro. Honorable Commissioners, I'm sure you have noted what he said. I'm sorry, I had to mute you because there are other people trying to ask questions about land as well. But thank you. You asked 3 or 4 questions or something. So, but thank you so much for coming. Also, once you have asked your question and you leave the studio, please don't try to come back in. Watch it on your social media platform. Don't try to watch from the back end because you're taking someone else's space. Mr. Akinwumi Taufik, you've asked your question. Please stop coming back in the studio so that other people can ask their questions. Right now, we have Mr. Lion Ezeogu, and we have Dr. Sunday Olatunji, we have Jermaine, we have Flo, Sheon, Benedict. The Honorable Commissioner needs to leave in Esa. How much time do we still have with you? Because I know that he came from an event, from a function, actually, from an official function to do this. And I really, really want to respect his time so that next time that we invite him, he will be happy to honor our invitation. So please, let's make it sharp, sharp. Go straight to your question and then he can answer. Mr. Lion, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Diola. And thank you, Honorable Commissioner Motosho. I think the reason why we have some of the comments I've read here, people are just, expressing frustration and so on. Some of us have experienced frustration too. Lagos is no longer like a state. Lagos is is supposed to be like, I don't believe that today I cannot just stay any part of the world and be able to transact business in Lagos. That's how it's supposed to be. I think my question is mainly on, is there a website? Is there a platform where I can go and see the process of buying land and acquiring property in Lagos? When I mean process, I mean in terms of cost, where when you've been saying go to lands, submit this, do that, do that. We all know Nigeria. If I go to land to submit, where do I submit this? Well, let's have a stage process. All developed cities like Lagos have these types of processes so that people, that's the only way they can attract investment. So that people can go on an authentic website of the government, pay money from any part of the world, be able to know where you can go, be able to have date for site visitation, be able to know who you can link up to. The internet, the IT, the technology has made these things possible. So is there a place we can go and be able to authenticate our documents, be able to file for CFO, be able to ask for any of these things in a way that you can at least have a clear view of what you're getting into. Some people get into property, they're not able to buy it, they're not able to complete it. So
So
this
we
is just my
actually
question.
asked this question earlier, but I guess what he's trying to say, sir, is can there be one place, maybe a website where everything can be done instead of people going from one ministry to another, one office to another? Because that in itself
And
is
then
frustrating.
and also cost to be able to let
And
people
with
know
the
what
cost
will they pay
included.
for when they go there. How much is this? How much is that? If people ask them to bring bribe again and again, where should they go to complain? Let's be a bit specific about these things.
Well, thank you so much. Very nice question. Like I was saying the other time, we recently launched a portal on which you can find all of these things, some of these things that you are talking about, the EGIS platform.
What's the website, sir, so I can put it up so that people can check it out?
No,
Thank you.
even all of the things that he's saying, I'm going to write everything out and send to you. All these questions, I'm taking them down. If you want to get land in Lagos, how to start and where to end it. But what I want him to know is that it's not only government that sets land in Lagos. Government schemes, they are quite simple. The price will be there. This is what we are selling. For example, I know now that there is no government scheme that is being sold in Lagos as we stand today. New ones are being developed by New Towns Development Authority. And when they are out, if you go on Lagos State website, you see what you need to do to be able to obtain all those things. So recently we launched that portal because of some technical reasons. It's not been really up and running the way it should be. But by the
Okay,
time
but
it
I
starts
was about
running,
to ask for the website of the portal, the link to the portal itself, so that we can check it out. But from what you are saying, sir, it's not in operation yet.
it's still flip flop, in my
So you
own
have
view.
not launched it. So then
Yeah.
you have not launched it.
No, we have, and it's actually for us to show people what it's going to look like, how it's going to function.
Yes, sir. How do you
Okay.
launch a
But
website that is yet to be in operation? You have not
I
launched
tried to
it.
send you the link now. If you check now, I've
Oh,
sent you the
okay.
link, and you can try it and see how it runs. So everything, all of those questions that you need to know, you get them there.
So
Okay. Well,
I'm
just
posting
last.
the link that he sent me just
Thank you.
now. At least people can have that, and then whenever it starts working, they can. There's stuff on that site, and then people can visit. So when should people visit? When will it be up and running? And
Yeah, well, I think it's a work in progress, but you can still go there and still get some information that you want. Because what we are trying to do is that all matters of land from time immemorial, so long as we can remember, up to tomorrow, we want to put online. So that you in America, in everywhere, you can go online and see any information about all lines. So doing that, all the documents that they have that they are trying to digitalize, is not something that you can do in a day, because this is something that have been hundreds and hundreds of years ago that they are
Okay.
building up to digitalize them.
so I
Just
just
type.
put up the Lagos State Land Administration portal that the Honorable Commissioner is talking about. This would be really helpful, sir,
Yes.
for if people know there's somewhere they can go where they can find all the information. If you click on that website, if anybody clicks on it, you will find information on there. But I guess they are still adding to it, is what he's trying to say. So I guess
Yes.
that's why he said they launched it. So there's
Okay.
already all kinds of information out there, out CFO, online property search, property tax valuation, and so on and so forth. And then land use allocation document. So you can already find information on there, but I think they are still adding to it, is what
Yes.
he's saying.
All right. Thank you so much, Omotosho, for this information. This is good. We are making a start, and the fact that it is on is a very great intent. Is It shows very good intention, and trust me, it will attract investment. My next question is just about the issue
Everybody
of.
has double
Okay,
questions. So
sorry, Diola, this I bow and tremble. Please, just one small
don't
one. I
bow,
bow and
don't
tremble.
tremble.
Please, I bow and tremble. Just one last one. There's a place they call Lakowe in Ekpe Expressway. Some of us wanted this lady they call Ofure, Grace Ofure. There are a lot of them like her who are helping people to navigate purchasing of property in Lagos. Some of them, she will complain about her frustration waiting for years to get certain approvals. Is there a way we can see, for instance, I want to buy a property in Lakowe in a expressway. Is there a place on that website you are building now that people can go and see, okay, this place that is on, this developer is the one on it. So people cannot be scammed anymore. She's doing a great job. And some of us feel that the frustration she's experiencing mostly are 95% government frustration. And just like other people, what can ease this frustration? Because government alone cannot deal with these lands, like you said. Other developers have to come in to help government to disseminate lands to people. But it has to be a streamlined process that people anywhere can trust, and that's the only way we can get an investment. Can this website also help us to be able to ascertain the authenticity of places that developers are selling to know whether that place is actually up for sale?
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. The place that you have mentioned, Lakaway, and along that corridor, is the fastest growing real estate area in Africa today, because people see that place as the future of Lagos. That is where you have Dangote Refinery, and that's where you have Dangote Fertilizer Company. That's where we are building a new airport. That's where you have the biggest, deepest seaport in West Africa, and on like that. So it's bound to attract people. But if you want to buy land in Lakowe, I suspect that it will be very difficult for you to get from an original person, maybe hand to hand, because so many people have bought in that place. But what you can do is, like I said, to check it out whether these people are genuine or not. Like I said, we have Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, LASRERA. Those ones, if you even buy land or any property at all and you are cheated, they can help you to even retrieve your money. So if you want to make any inquiry, they have a whole long list of people who are registered with them, who are property, estate valuers, and what have you in the built industry. And if there is any mistake, and if you need advice, like you are asking me, they will offer you good advice. And they're online too. If you search for Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, you find them online, and then you can send your questions there. As I'm speaking now, a colleague of mine is sending a message to Adiola. I said his name is Jamin Sawolu, that is head of the Lagos State Office of Diaspora Affairs, and also an estate surveyor and valuer, that he would like to contribute. I don't know how possible that is.
Okay. I would love that, please. Adiola, let that person contribute, please. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Sure.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Lion.
Sir, can Mr.
Jamin.
Yeah, can he please use the same link that I sent to you, sir? Mr. Robert, can you please send him that link so that I can let him in the studio? I just put up just now what the honorable minister's personal assistant sent to me. If anybody is trying to get planning permits to build in Lagos, about 8 different things that you need. Sorry that it's so big on the screen, but it's because I want people to take a minute to try to write it down. And sir, please, if they can send that link to the man that is trying to join us. And while we're waiting on him, it's so funny that Mr. Eziogu brought up Grace Ofure, because she's actually next in the studio as well, trying to ask a question, trying to ask the Honorable Minister a question. But Mr. Lion, do you have any other question before I let her in?
Okay, I think the only final question I'll ask is if people in terms of cost for CFO, people just I have people who in my firm who want to acquire their CFOs, and they are having issues with timing of acquiring CFO. It is affecting investments totally, and whether it's coming from a secondary seller, or whether it's coming from the process for CFO needs to also be on the website, so that people will know that this is the process to obtain CFO. This is how much it will cost to obtain CFO. Then we know that Nigeria has its own factors, but let us have, first of all, those major costs of CFO. So someone can say, government can come out and say CFO costs this amount of money. Then plus or minus, someone can now say plus or minus this is what you say, and this is the range to obtain this CFO. When these things are clear, it will reduce a lot of fraud, and a lot of fraud on people. People are so gullible. Yeah, thank you so much
for stating that. So sir, hopefully that's noted. Getting CFO much quicker. I mean, I'm trying to hurry yourself so that the minister can get back.
My apologies, please.
The governor did something recently. He appointed, apart from himself, he appointed 5 members of the executive council who are lawyers to be signing CFOs, so that all of these things can be fast.
That's good.
Okay. Sir, the person that is trying to join us, did you send them the link? Is it Mr. Jamin?
I think he's in now.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to let him in, and then I'm going to let in Miss Grace Ofure as well. She's a developer in Lagos trying to ask you a question. Mr. Lion, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Mr. Jamin, thanks for joining us, sir.
Hi, Adiola. How you doing?
I'm good, and
Honorable
you?
Commissioner, pleasure seeing you again. I've been a fan of yours for a while, Adiola, so we'll keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
This initiative is commendable, giving the Lagos State government a platform to communicate with your audience too. As the Honorable Commissioner rightfully said, the Lagos State government, under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is committed to ensuring that not just Lagosians in Lagos or people who live in Lagos, also those in the diaspora can have access to doing business and also housing needs in Lagos State. Well, the Office of Diaspora Affairs, called LASDA, which I head, focuses on that. And we've been able to help many people in the diaspora when it comes to their housing needs. By God's grace, I studied in UNILAG and I'm also a SSW and valuer. And I see that the diaspora has a lot of challenges, and that's why we're here, to support you with whatever needs that you may have, to guide you. Now, there's some questions that were asked that the Honorable Commissioner rightly answered regarding the who owns land in Lagos. According to the Land Use Act 1978, as amended 1999, and it's still being reviewed. All land is vested in the government's, the state government, apart from those specifically highlighted or as federal government land. So if you buy a land, there are two types of property rights that you really acquire. That is the freehold or the leasehold. Now, in Nigeria, it's about a leasehold, and they give a leasehold of 99 years. 99 years leasehold. That means that you have a tenure of 99 years to do with it as you desire, to lease, to sublease, to sell. You have the rights or the property on ground, above the ground, and even below the ground. That is your own right. So there are many options that you have to purchase property in Lagos. As the Honorable Commissioner said, you have people like Grace Efue, as you mentioned, and you always advertise her. She's a private developer. You can buy from people who are private developers. But we also have in the Lagos State Office of Diaspora Affairs what we call the Trusted Developers Scheme. And we'll do much work to intimate the public about what we are doing. We are working in collaboration with housing agencies in Lagos State or land agencies, people like the LSDPC, Ibile Holdings. Ibile Holdings talks to the business sides of things for the government. LSDPC, Lagos State Property Development Agency. We also have the Lagos Homes, which provides housing needs for people who are like first-time buyers and on the low-income aspect of stuff. Also supports even civil servants to get properties. And even those in the diaspora. There are many properties that the Lagos State government has for sale. You are in the diaspora right now. You're looking to invest in Nigeria. You have heard of the money-less syndrome. You've heard of the give my money to mommy or give my money to brother, and they run away with the money and just take picture of land that belongs to someone else. We want to eradicate that. We are addressing that by one, the LSDPC. They are trusted partners that you can go to. They have a lot of properties on the mainland, on the island, in the hinterland, the Lekki side, the Korodu, that you can actually tap into and begin to benefit from that. The Lands Office in Lagos is filled with credible civil servants who will support you if you approach them. They said it's not anything more with low more way. It's if you know the way, if you know who to connect with. And me, as the office of head of Lagos State Office of Diaspora Affairs, I lived in the UK for close to 20 years. I supported the community there. I know those of you in London. I'm right now. I'm in Atlanta for the Nigeria Town Hall meeting and also connecting with the Lagos to Atlanta program that many people are doing also here. So we understand your pain. We understand your pain points too, and we want to support you. There are a lot of opportunities in Lagos State. This is the time to buy land, but you must do it the right way. Even if your land has been grabbed by the so-called Omoniles, they are our brothers and sisters in Lagos. There is a way. Lagos State has a Lagos State land grabbing task force. I have helped multiple people reclaim their land through state powers from people who try to build on them. So Governor Sanwo-Olu's administration is proactive, is sensitive to the needs of people, and we want to support you. I will just pause for now.
Thank you so much, sir, for everything that you said. For those who are wondering, this is the Senior Special Assistant on Diaspora and Foreign Relations in Lagos State. And yes, he is a cousin to the governor. That's why they shared the same last name. So please, you can find him on social media as well. His social media handle is right below his name, because I'm pretty sure that other people have questions for you. So right now, I'm going to let in one of the developers in Lagos who also has a question for the Honorable Minister as well as Mr. Sanwo-Olu. Her name is Grace Ofure, as you rightfully mentioned. Miss Ofure, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please.
Yes, I can hear you. Oh,
Okay,
sorry,
hi.
I'm on the ways. I'm actually going somewhere. First of all, I want to really commend you, Adiola. I want to first of all, on behalf of the entire leaders that we have here, the leaders of Lagos State, say to you that you have done an excellent job. I never knew you. You used over 2 years to do thorough investigation because the diaspora trusted you and trusted your judgment. And after like 2 years plus, you sent spies to my office, and you finally in 2020 opened me up to the diaspora to become one of the people they could reach out to. I'm internally grateful for that. And some few years back, I also told you that I'm backing out a bit when it comes to. So I was surprised, when you told me that you're going to have this meeting. And once again, I want to thank the Honorable Commissioner. Thank you so much for granting us this interview. And I'm so excited about very own Jamina Sonwolu that is here, because I know with that, we are going to definitely get words to our honorable governor. Number one, let me talk about business in Lagos State. I told Adiola I'm going to have a meeting with her where I'm going to talk about truth and trial, my truth and trial of Lagos State, my truth and my trial. One of the things that we stand for is truth. And I'm so excited. There was a young man that spoke about me. I don't know him, but I heard what he said. And because of my integrity, that was why 2 years ago, I told Adiola, it looks like I'm not going to be helping people in Lagos State again because of bureaucracy. And number one, I also do cross-border investment. I'm big in investment, cross-border for investors, both Nigeria and the diaspora. I see structures and process. I see things just go straight. A is A, B is B, C is C, from one end to the other end. Sir, Honorable Commissioner, sir, why is it that lands that we have acquired with proper documentation? Let me tell you, when I came into real estate, my love for people as a company caused me to back out from the Bejuleki, and I'm not apologetic. I started with just an estate myself, and my husband is my chairman. We noticed that it is not possible to really get CFO. It's like a needle that is going into I don't even know how to explain it. Going to heaven is better.
Auntie Grace, what is your question?
So my question is, why that? Then number two.
So bureaucracy, you are saying that
Because of that, we stopped for 1 year. We stopped selling because even diaspora could not afford lands with CFO. So we went to CFO. Why do we get CFO? Land grabbers will come. We will be in the courts. And judiciary system is something that's supposed to be a write-off. Like, you're not supposed to even get to court.
So you are talking about bureaucracy.
Why do we get CFO where a land has a CFO, and people will now come and say the CFO was misplacedly sent to? There are a lot of plenty issues. You want to do things right. People don't just want the things to go right.
Hello. I think her network went back. I think she's trying
to. Can I respond to that?
Yes. Please, sir.
Yeah, I understand what she's saying. She's talking about frustration in getting CFO.
How many of you are enlisted to say you can trust this person, you can trust this person, you can trust this person, so that the beauty of Lagos will continue? Because the narrative we have now is that even the diasporas are afraid to buy anything in Lagos State. So those two things, how do we sanitize in such a way that we can do exactly at its international standard? Some of us want to be doing it right. Let's just do it right so that we don't run away. We have started a company in Rwanda now. Yes, for land banking. Yes, because we want to do things right. So a lot of people have asked me, why are houses going down? Why don't we have a good branding to see why houses are going down? There's a place I did not buy because Lagos told me it's a canal or it's something. Some people have built high-rise there. That house will go down. But why don't we have a good media in Lagos State?
So the commissioner had actually started answering your question when your network went bad. So let him answer the ones that you have brought up. Thank you so much, ma. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. First, let me just advise you that this is not an emotional matter. It's not something that we have to be emotional about or to be anxious about. Between November, October, up to this time, there have been over $1.5 billion foreign investment coming into Lagos. So the idea that people in the diaspora are afraid, that may not be quite correct. And now talking about C of O, I was telling Adiola just before you came in that recently Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, our governor, appointed 5 commissioners to be signing C of O so that the thing can move fast. You see, there is any human organization, there is no way that you won't have 1 or 2 bad people who may want to slow down things. But we are using technology to fight that. Even the signing of the CFO now, it is through machine. These 5 commissioners that I spoke about, they were presented with these machines so that they look at everything, and at the click of the button, they can sign everything. So it's faster than maybe what you used to know now. And thank God we are also in Lagos yourself. If you have any problem, it's easy for you to reach us either online, by telephone, or physically, whichever you prefer. So I will tell you, if you have a CFO that is being processed, there are so many friends of mine who are overseas who are processing things in land department, and I give them updates as the things are moving. Like I told you, at the click of a button, you can sign hundreds of CFOs in 5 minutes. So things are really changing.
Thank you so much, sir. I
Yeah.
really appreciate. I don't really buy land that does not have CFO because I don't want to go into a lot of issues. But I just say that once a land has its CFO, when we have issues like the land grabbers, we want Lagos State to help us to quickly get them behind the bars. Because it now becomes a problem. You are trying to do something right. And once you are in the court, you know these things, sir. Once you are in court.
And
Please
I
go
don't know
ahead.
if I
I
can
think
comment,
your
Adiola.
network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Just
Yeah.
if there's a portal and report those kind of issues too, that we have bought right, we want to sell right, let us be able to quickly. Then also, I'm using this medium to talk to those in diaspora. When you buy property like land, I think Lagos State wants construction, they want development. Always come on time. Hey, that's a very important question, sir. When we buy a property, for us that sell to the diaspora community, many of them do not want to develop for 10 years. Can you help me to answer that question? That is it right to live in Lagos State for 20 years before development? Because I also have read your document CFO and there are some clauses there. Yeah? So please, sir. Because
She was asking if it's okay for people to. She asked 2 questions. Would there be a portal where developers can report if they are being harassed, or if someone comes to lay claim on the land that they've already gotten C of O of?
Okay.
For? And then the second question is it okay for people in the diaspora to buy land and leave it undeveloped for like 10, 20 years for land banking in Lagos?
Okay, can I answer? Thank you very much for those questions, Mrs. Ofue. We understand your passion and your pain too, and we are looking at creating solutions for them. And again, the Lagos State Office of Diaspora Affairs is there for you. We are there to support you. If you have challenges, reach out to me, jermainesonly.com, or on social media, Twitter, all that. I can support you in that regards. Now, I've sent on the private link, Mr. Diola, the Lagos State land grabbers portal that you can be able to find support for if you have any kind of challenges from the government, from people who want to grab your land. I have a diasporan who her land was taken over by I think was even a local chief there, and the state government went there fully and got that land back from her. So it's very, very possible. Now, as a diasporan, if you buy land from a private developer, and you just keep it there for 10 years, as long as you want, you're a speculative buyer, or you're not ready to develop. I don't think anyone will hold you to account. And if you buy land from a state government in a government scheme, they usually require that probably between 6 months to like a year, you are able to fence that area, because we don't want people to buy land for speculative purposes. We are selling land at a very, very affordable, at a considerable affordable rate to people so that they can develop those areas, and it could open up opportunities, open up jobs for the rest of the world. And it's not only just about land for real estate. There's also land for agriculture in the Ekpe area, in the Kodu area. Those of you in the diaspora, form cooperatives and come and invest in Lagos State, in agricultural sector, come and invest in property. We have different partners that have different kind of estates all around, even the Ibeju Lekki areas, and they are partnering on a joint venture basis with LSDPC, Lagos Homes, Ibile Homes, even we at the Lagos State Diaspora Affairs, because we are diaspora centric, and Badagry is the home of many diaspora experts. We are developing a home from flats in that area that you as a diaspora who have affinity to Lagos can also buy land for tourism and various things in the Badagry area. So there's a lot of opportunities for you. Don't be afraid to reach out. The government is here for you. Things are changing quite fast. And we are very, very empathic, and we are very, very empathic and want to connect with you and help you, hold your hands, take you to the seats of power, and tell you that this is your problem. We would help you. So wherever you are, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are from in Nigeria, we don't see tribe, we don't see location. We want to just see your problem and want to provide solutions. So I'm here for you, and the governor has mandated us to do this. And I've worked so much in the UK, worked so much in America, worked so much to support the diaspora. And people, I saw some comments that were saying, the governor has appointed his cousin and all that. Well, I have an MA in diaspora and international studies from abroad, international law and diplomacy. I've studied very, very well to be in this position, but God's grace and the help of Mr. Governor too has also been there. But the most important thing is that you can be sure that you have someone credible that will do the work for you passionately. Diaspora, reach out to me. I'm here for you. Thank you, Adiola.
Thank you so much. First of all, the link that he sent to me, if any.
Please, Adela, thank you. Commissioner, sir, I want to say thank you so much for the great work you are doing in Lagos State. And my brother, thank you so much. It's obvious that you are well read. The truth is, a lot of diasporas, if you go to the back end now, many of them are just saying, Grace, thumbs up. A lot of them have so much trust. So I think that people like me should partner with you. I was really, really having a double mind. But after this beautiful meeting now, I will reach out to you. I really want to work in Lagos State. Lagos State has been a very good home for me. And I also want to debunk the issue of Yoruba Igbo. I'm not Yoruba, but I'm rooting for Lagos State. I'm not Yoruba. I'm from Edo State. And but I just think that informations that are going out is just there's a way the informations are not really truly correct. I know so many things that are not correct, but then I will want you to open your doors, Honorable Commissioner. When I'm back to town, maybe next week, I'll try and reach out to my brother so that we can work together. The truth is, there are too many people in diaspora that will not say yes if I don't say yes. So I think that you should just leverage on what I already have built over the years: trust, integrity, and so let us work together. But one thing is certain, Ekoni Baje, we want to make Lagos State beautiful. I'm so
You're already
grateful.
on Moeko.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ofure. Thanks for joining us. So, real quick, for those that may just be joining us, the link that Mr. Jermaine sent me just now is, if any Omonile is troubling you, if any self-proclaimed landowner comes to you after you've already paid for land, and they are troubling you, that is the link for you to report it. And you are saying, sir, that an action will be taken. Someone will get back to me if I report that someone is troubling.
Feel free to reach out to me personally. The office is there for you. I will take it up. That's our work.
Awesome.
They are there for you. If you reach out to them, and you could also follow up by reaching out to me too, and I'll follow up with them and ensure that any legitimate needs or concerns that are shared, we will take action. It's not right for someone to steal your land or to build on your land. It's not right. The government wants things to be done the right way. That's why he has even made it that people who are built irregularly, 90 days, for them to regularize their papers. We want to reset Lagos. We want to make sure Lagos to be like a 21st century economy, a global city, a place that you will want to come and live and enjoy from the diaspora. So you can be rest assured that things are changing in Lagos. All these things are there for you to access, and we'll communicate better.
Thank you so much. So I just got a note that the Honorable Commissioner needs to attend an event ASAP. Sir, how many more minutes of your time do we have?
No, it's fine. Just let's go ahead. This is more important than any other.
Okay, I'm just going to take. Shegun Olo is here. He's about to cause trouble. There's Flo and then there's Shegmulo. I'm just going to take them. Miss Flo has been waiting for a long time. Miss Flo, thank you so much for joining us. Please ask your question. Thank you for your patience.
Adiola, thank you so much for this. Oh my God, am I muted? Unbelievable. Oh my God.
We can hear you. We can hear you,
Oh,
ma.
you can. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
please
sorry.
go
I thought I
ahead.
was
Thank you.
muted. Okay. All right. Mr. Commissioner, sir, please, I have a very, very peculiar story. So 20 years ago, right, sir, in Abijo GRA area, I actually bought a piece of land. As at then, we weren't aware of what's happening now, 24 years later. Now, recently, we found out that the land is committed to the government, but there's already a structure standing there, sir. So my question is, now that we found out that it's committed to the government, is it possible? Is there any kind of process that I can, any process that will enable me extract that particular land? Sir, I'm just trying to look for solutions. And as you know, a lot of people are in this situation too. But 2020, I've been in the US almost 30 years now. As at, born and raised in Lagos. I mean, we didn't know of all these processes as at then, but now that there's a structure there, what can I do?
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
In Lagos, we run a compassionate government. If even though they say that there is that ignorance is no defense in law, we run a compassionate government. I will advise you to write to the proper authorities and Mr. Governor too, explaining your situation. I mean, at that time when you bought the place and then you built on it, you didn't do your due diligence to find out whether it was a government property or it was a private property that no one should build on. But now that the building is already standing there, apparently there are no papers to show that, the government papers. If you have government papers to show there is approval for it, there could be some consideration. So I will advise you that you should write about it.
To
Yes.
the governor.
And as the
Yes,
commissioner
write to
said,
the
that's so
government.
true. You should write, and I'm sending my email to Adeola, Mr. Adeola right now. It's
I'll make it
jasonwolu
public.
at lagosstate.gov.ng. There you can reach me, and we can look into the matter. Now, there's what they call the law of eminent domain, whereby land can be taken for overriding public interest, like those, unfortunately, the landmarks area that was taken for the Lagos-Calabar Expressway, and also the area for the fourth mainland bridge that is being built. There are some times that these things happen, that they look at the better good for the greater number of people. And however, there's also a compensation process that also goes into when there's a overriding public interest and the law of eminent domain comes into place. So feel free to reach out to the lands agency and also to me, personally, as I've said, jsonwolu at lagossstate.gov.ng, and I'll follow up on this, your concern. You are the diaspora, and it says 30 years in America. You're my primary constituents. I may not be able to help everybody, but I will help to the best of my ability. And we have active civil servants who are there to meet the needs of every Lagosian. So let's take it up. Let's see how it goes.
Mike is muted. Oh, jeez.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just have to go. Thank you. But, sir, Mr. Commissioner, just so you know, this is a feedback, sir. The C of O's are not coming in 2 years. We have other properties also. We applied for C of O, and it's been almost 2 years and nothing, sir. There's absolutely nothing. So I think there's a clique of the people who are actually getting the C of O's. There's a clique. It's like a cult, like a,
Cult.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm
Okay.
telling you. Because other people, regular folks like us, are not getting it, sir. But thank you for your time. And can we please have sessions like this every Saturday, Adeola? It's life-saving. Bye.
Yes, ma. Real quick, sir, Mr. Jermaine, did I get your email right? Because I didn't get the private message that you said you would send. Is this the right
Okay,
email?
let me send that again. That's jsonwolu at lagossstate.gov.ng. Let me send that now.
Look on the screen. Is it the same thing that I wrote on the screen?
Perfect. You got it right.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So for the
Yeah.
woman who spoke last, let me just say that there is no click in the Lagos
There's
State
no click.
government that is sitting on people's
No.
CFO. Something must have been wrong in her application that she didn't do right, whether she didn't send it to the right place. Something must have been wrong. But again, let her write, stating her
Okay.
case,
Yeah.
and it will be looked into.
Yes,
Sir,
absolutely. We're here
Honorable
for you,
Commissioner, sir, how can people reach you as well, sir?
Well, my social media handles are there too. So or even if you go on Lagos State government website, we make it as interactive as possible.
So, sir, you're not giving out an email, right? I'm putting your Twitter
Oh, my
handle.
email is there too. gaomotoshow@lagostate.gov.ng. If you send me an email, I'll reply you immediately and then I'll work on it, whatever it is.
Okay.
So there's so much support that we can offer to you. We know there are a lot of applications for C of O, a lot of people who want to get it done, and it can lead to a backlog. As the commissioner said, over 5 people. That was very proactive. Mr. Governor has been given the authority to sign C of Os now, and that's what we want to do work faster to meet the needs of Lagosians better. And please, reach out to me if you are a diaspora and you have challenges. Just let me know. I'll be able to reach out. Twitter too, Jermaine Sonwolu. I'll put that there too, and so I can read some of your comments or your questions. Well, we want to do work for you. We want to support you.
Thank you so much, sir. Honorable
It's not
Commissioner,
partisan, not tribal. Anybody can come and help us. We will help you.
Is this email correct, sir? Honorable Commissioner G Omotosho. There's no
Right.
H, right?
No, there's no H there.
Okay, so we're rounding up. I'm only taking 2 people. I have Shegun Olo, and then I have Mr. Babatunde Olaniro on the line. He's also a developer in Lagos and in other parts of the country. Mr. Shegun Olo, please. Nice to see you. Please go straight to your question. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. If you can hear me, so I want to first appreciate the platform you have brought to allow people interface. Secondly, I just want to go straight to the point. Let me appreciate the gentleman from the government side to coming here. Honorable Commissioner, I know him. He doesn't know me like that. Met only once in an occasion, an event, and I've also listened to Mr. Jamin himself, I think once or twice on Twitter Spaces. But let me just go straight to the point. I want to ask particularly about the coastal road realignment that is affecting a lot of people along the Okwaja to Eleko corridor. Let's forget about land markets. I mean, I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about, and I also understand that Okwaja Moko has also been returned into the swamp. But there are still hundreds of thousands of people who are affected, especially if you go towards Mushiriko, go down to Iwerikon, Sulu, Oromija, Odushina, and the rest of them. And these people are lamenting. What's my question is we learned that recently there's a Supreme Court judgment, I think sometime around January, February, saying that 250 meters from the shore now belongs to the federal government. Maybe that was the fight. I guess that matter was in court for a long time until finally they got a verdict. Then now there is a gazette. People have their village excisions, and a lot of people bought, to be safe, they bought in the excision. They know about the original alignment. Freedom that is just one. They bought into the village excisions and they decided not to cross into the original alignment of the coastal road. Everybody respected, honored it, and decided not to encroach on it. So people went to do their proper searches, did everything possible. We know they are now talking about compensation and all that, but not everybody will be compensated. Even those who are compensated have come out to say the compensation is like an insult. I know particularly somebody who came from diaspora to invest in that axis. And then the person, after engaging, paying all the necessary, including government fees, the first question is, why won't they compensate those who have engaged Swambugi for over a month? You know what that cost per day? Then Sanfield did everything they needed to do. Then suddenly you say leave, and there's no compensation for land. It's only those who have permanent structures that they are compensating, because they say government can use land in overriding public interest. Overriding public interest means there's no other place you can use. But there is sufficient land in the swamp, still there. The old alignment is still there. Nobody want. Then the minister came to the town hall to say they want to sell the land, and there's nothing anybody can do to it. How is this giving confidence to Nigerians in diaspora who want to come home and invest? People did their searches. They did everything they needed to do. And it was clear, only for them to finish paying all the funds. Let's start work. They say, sorry, we realigned here. Coastal route is no longer going to pass. It's now going to go on the village. You want to sell the old alignment. That's number one question. What is Lagos State government doing to protect its gazette, to protect these villages, to protect people who have paid, and federal government came and said they want to encroach? That's number one question. Number two question, why is it that I understand the Honorable Commissioner has said that they are now coming up with something to harmonize all this process, EGIS and the rest of it? Why is it that you go to lands, the information you have when you do land search will be different from what you get when you get to another agency? It will be different, and then when you go back, they will say they have updated it. Something that was available before, and you have paid, you have done everything you are supposed to do, land registry and all that, you will come back and they say, oh, government is now interested, it's no longer free. What are we doing to make sure that people are not facing these challenges again and again? It is not giving confidence to people to come and invest. It's not about Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba thing now. It's about what is happening to everybody. What are you doing to protect people? Is there a committee, Lagos and federal government?
Who do you want to answer the question? The minister or?
Whoever has the right answer among the
Okay.
two.
All right.
Let me just thank you for those questions. First, about compensation. If you even check the meaning of compensation, it's quite different from I am buying land from you, I am buying your house from you. I have taken over your property in the public interest, and now for you to not feel being left to your own devices, I am saying take this amount of money. So it's compensation. It's not going to ever be enough for what you have lost in the public interest. Not because the government took over your property because they just wanted to be wicked. No, it's in the public interest because a road must be built. And if you look at the advantages of building such a road, they are just enormous, humongous advantages.
Yes, this your answer is going to upset a lot of people. So you're basically saying people should be willing to sacrifice their, because
as I speak to you now, there are one or two villages that are protesting that the road must pass through their village. That they don't care whether they are taking away their homes. They don't
that doesn't answer
but it must pass through because they realize the enormous advantages of having such a road pass through your area.
Yes, sir. No. This is different. We're talking about somebody bought land. Now the government is saying they want to use the land, and you are saying the compensation can never be enough.
I'm still coming to that. You know, it started from the coastal road. Mr. Shegun started from the coastal road. So the one that he just spoke of, the one that you mentioned just now, that to me is very strange. You go and find out today that you want to buy land somewhere and there is no encumbrancy. And then it's not encumbered in any way, either by litigation or by whatever form. And then you go back there, they say, oh, we are sorry, government is taking over the land. That is very strange to me. Because government is not just something that you take knee-jerk decisions. There are projects that have been conceived several years ago, like the coastal road that we are talking about too. So if he has any particular case of an instance that government just woke up one day, a place that you have checked and they said there are no encumbrances, and the government is now putting some hurdles there, you should let us know. We will go in there and find out why.
And let me reassure you.
I'll give you one instance now, sir. Again, when you say overriding interest, it simply means there's no other land you can use. We are saying there's an original alignment for the road, and it's still there.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I can feel your pain and even the pain of many people who may be in a similar circumstance or situation. But be rest assured that the government of Ogonbawade Sanwo-Olu will do whatever it can to support you. You mentioned some two salient points about those lands that have, those properties that have structure on top of them, and those who may have sand-filled the land and all that. That's something, is a feedback that we're getting from you, and we would go and look into all those things and see how people, as the General Commissioner had said, can be compensated. It may not be as much as the investment you put into it, but for a variety of public interest, there'll be some compensation. And one thing I want you to know, that this kind of answers you're asking us from the state government, when I spoke about the all land is vested in the state government, but I said that the exception, especially those which have been covered, which are under the federal government's purview, that the state government does not have the power of that at all. So there's some federal government land, federal government roads, federal government highways and expressways in Lagos that Lagos state government does not have authority over. So in this same line, the best answers for these questions, and the people that we need to maybe encourage Mr. Adeola to also connect to the federal government to say, okay, in this federal government land, in these areas, what is the best way to handle the situation? We don't want to speak on behalf of the federal government. We are Lagos state government, but we understand your concerns. And in these areas, we will take the feedback and go and try and work on it, and so that we can meet your needs as residents and indigents of Lagos.
Thank you so much.
It's also very good. It's also very good to give the government some credibility, no matter how little. That no government will move into any area and begin to take over land for the fun of it.
That's what
it has to be in the public interest and for the good of the majority.
Without coastal road, that's what it.
Honorable Commissioner, it's like you are telling us to be happy. They want to pass your road wants to pass through our land.
I'm telling you, there are some villages that are protesting that the road is not passing through their village.
It's like we are sacrificing for the public. If the government takes land, sir, they should pay in full. Hold on, Shegun. They should pay in full, because now you are telling us even the meaning of compensation doesn't mean that they are buying from you. Sir, this is somebody's land that they had paid for and everything. Now the government is trying to pass through. So I don't think it's right for you to be saying that it's compensation. It doesn't mean they are paying it.
No. This is not a question of right or wrong. Go. This is not a question of right. I'm talking about practical things. It's not a question of right. If you are talking right or wrong, why should you take over somebody's property for whatever reason?
That's the question.
Adiola, in relation to this too, when they are looking at the value of a property, it's subjective, and it's also based on various types of valuations. The Nigerian State Surveyors and Valuers, you understand, NAIVs, which I belong to, they value land based on various purposes. It could be for commercial, it could be for insurance purposes. So the value of the land that you may feel, okay, this is for my residential, this is the value of the land. For commercial, maybe for different purpose. In the case of government, the valuation will be a different purpose in the case of eminent domain. So valuation has a lot of aspects that come into it when they're calculating things. So you may have an expected value that, I put $100 million into this property and they're only giving me 50 million. The government weighs all those things. They use credible valuers from NAIVs, to arrive at those figures. They just don't say, this one is 100,000. Let's give it to them. It's okay. No, they actually carry a valuation that is fit for purpose. And we do understand what is going on, that it will be heart-wrenching for anybody to have land that they've been planning on building their family land house or things like that. They've had dreams for it, just being taken away, and you say it's for the public interest. But sometimes, the public good, will also benefit even you ultimately. So we empathize. We're trying to be more understanding, and we appreciate this feedback. We'll look into it, please.
Let me just before.
All right, thank you so much. Shegu, I need to take just what the commissioner needs to leave.
Just one. You can take it to him. He doesn't have to
make it quick.
Okay. But by the time they wanted to commence this coastal road they wanted to start implementing the construction. Was there like a committee or interface between the federal and state government to see you can't pass here is gazetted, you cannot pass here, you can only pass where the original alignment is already taken, allocated for it by the federal government since over 30 years. Everybody knows it and is there. Was there like an interface between the federal and states before deciding they can take anyone and leave the original one to go and sell to Chinese, Lebanese, Aguri and co.
Now Mr. Shegun is taking the matter to another level.
No, because you can't give confidence to people this way. You can't just say, come and invest. And tomorrow,
there is nothing done on the coastal road. There is nothing done on the coastal road that has not been documented for a long time. It's not that the government woke up last month and said that coastal road, this is where it's going to pass through. This is where it's not going to pass through. It's always been there.
And it's still there.
It's always been there.
It's still
and
there,
like I said, you also look at the advantages of building this kind of road. There are so many of our young people, apart from being employed on this road, who will never, maybe in their lifetime, see this kind of road being built.
The land is still there. Road. That's what we are saying. You are changing the alignments to claim new land. That's what we are saying.
Thank you so much. Let's not get upset. Thank you so much, everybody. This is the last person that I'm letting in. Mr. Jermaine, if you're saying something, you are muted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shegun.
Thank you so
we'll
much.
Take your feedback. Please reach out to us on specifics and we'll work on it, please. Thank you.
All right. Last person on the show, I have Mr. Babatunde Olaniro. He's also a developer in Lagos and also outside of Lagos. Mr. Olaniro, thanks so much for joining us. Please ask your question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adiola. I really appreciate the opportunity that you've given us here. I also want to thank Honorable Commissioner Sagwinga Mutasho. Good afternoon, sir, Mr. Jermaine. My name is Babatunde Olaniro, and I'm the Managing Director of Tunde Olaniro Farms. We are into agriculture and food processing. Our factories in Oyo State. We also do business in Osun State and a few things in Lagos here and there. My question is, going to look into the angle of agriculture because that's what we are passionate about. I want to know if the government, maybe the state government, has any plans or maybe any partnership programs for farming and agriculture in the state, especially working together with the private sector. And if so, if there's any snippets that you could give us to have an idea of what this is about.
Well, thank you so much. There is nothing that we do in Lagos that we do not stress the fact that government cannot do it alone. We do not have enough resources to be able to carry everything and put on our chest. So most of the time we invite the private sector through the office of the private-public partnership, which is also a cabinet office where you can discuss whatever you want to do. Then the Ministry of Agriculture is very vibrant. It's inviting the private sector all of the time to come and join us to do some of the programs that we are doing in fishing, in the cattle processing, and so many other things that we are doing now. So the private sector is involved. We are building the largest food and logistics hub in sub-Saharan Africa in K2 Ejiri, and then that one is being done through the private sector too. And then we are building fresh food hubs all around Lagos. We have commissioned one or two of them, and then a couple of others are coming up all through the private sector. So because the government doesn't have the money to do everything. So if you get in touch with us, we can link you up to the Ministry of Agriculture, and whatever ideas you have that you think all of us can benefit from, the government and people of Lagos State and your own private company, we are open to it.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. And what I wanted to know is that the governor is even in Paris at the moment with the commissioner for agriculture and other investors in that space. They're going to go and look at best practices being taken place around the world to bring it home to Lagos. We're even going to have a large food hub whereby you can use to benefit the people of Lagos. Now, particularly to your question, we know you are doing business in Ondo and Oyo and all that, but consider Lagos. You understand? We have land, and I do know that because that is one business that civil servants or public servants can actually go into. The government can give you land as an individual, 5 acres of land, and if you have a business, up to 10 acres of land. When I mean give, I mean you can purchase it from the government at a subsidized rate, but most people don't know that the government is there for you. Now, the different kind of schemes that the government has. They have some schemes in the Ekpe area, and they have some schemes in the Ikorodu area. So there's a lot of opportunities there. Even in the coconut processing, in the Badagry area, we have a whole agency. I think it's called Lascoda, which is onto Coconut Development Agency. So if you want to make coconut oil, coconut skincare products, I know Mr. Adeola's hair is so beautiful. Coconut oil, we are doing that in Lagos. Those kind of things is what the government is there for you. So please reach out to us again, and we can go to the commissioner. If you're from the diaspora or even in Lagos, we'll give you the audience to see what you want to invest. And as the commissioner said, the Office of PPP, Public-Private Partnership, will be able to work with you and see what kind of business model we can develop to make your business grow so that you will be prosperous, and Lagosians, by extension, through job creation and also benefiting from your service, will be prosperous too. So it's not only about planting in the land, but you can also let Lagos be your processing hub, whereby you can, reach over 24 million people.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll definitely, I think the email address was left behind before.
Yes, I'll put it up again. The land that you just mentioned, sir, is this just for Mr. Babatunde Olaniro or anybody that wants to do business in Lagos? Because
anybody that wants to do business in Lagos, anybody, because over the years how things are, people feel that the government is not for them. The government is for them. If you just take a little step into Alausa and you now know me. You understand? You can. The fair connection is what makes people, it makes the world go round. You need to be connected. Now you are connected to us, though via social media, via email. Now we will help you. We'll connect you to the right source, so you'll get power. You will light up your life and it will be beautiful. We are here to support you. Believe you me.
Thank you so much for saying that. I'll put up his email one more time.
Thanks so much. I'll definitely be in touch.
Sorry. Thank you so much for saying that. I'll put up both of their emails one more time. Yeah. Please, guys, note down their emails. This is the one for the commissioner. I'm also putting up Mr. Jermaine's email. I really like what you said, because I know we're talking about land, real estate, and so on, but what you mentioned just now would encourage, people that may want to invest in Lagos. Like Mr. Abatunde Olanira, he's a very big man. He has a really big company. People in the diaspora are buying the food that he's making at his farm, Tunde Laniro Farms. They're selling them on Amazon here. We are buying his amala.
Yes.
His dodoikiri.
Wow. Where are you based? Where are you based abroad? Where are you based?
In Florida.
In Florida. Okay, wow, that's cool. Maybe we'll catch up one of these days when my journey takes me there. But that's what we're looking at. You, like a diaspora, and I would love to work with you so you can expand your business processes here in Lagos, and it will be our success story, and and benefit a lot of diasporas. I want to think diasporas do that. You know what? You can partner with individuals or even government bodies to buy land as a collective for agricultural purposes, and you create jobs for people in Lagos. If it's cassava, they'll be processing that. The land is being utilized. They are getting money, and they're also exporting it to London, to Canada, to Florida, to Atlanta, wherever it is around the world. So there can be a partnership between the diaspora office, Mr. Olaniro, and many other people who are there who want to actually do. We have a Ministry of Trade, Commerce, Investment, and Cooperatives that can, work with you to ensure that your business idea can be made a reality. And I want to encourage you, Mr. Adeola, for this great thing that you are doing. I want to encourage you also that as you've reached out to Honorable Commissioner, you provided information, but also the diaspora office, there are other ministries and agencies. If you need support, I will link you with them so that they can interface directly. People, your audience can interface directly with the government. So you can feel us, you can hear us, you can see that we're not just the politicians. We want to support Lagosians. So if you're ready to connect the government to the world, it's not an abuse of your platform. It just amplifies your voice. You are standing for objectivity, standing for patriotism, standing for accountability, and we want to be held accountable under the leadership of Nobody to support Lagosians. So we're here to amplify what you are doing and come on board to listen to.
Thank you so much for saying that. And honestly, I'm so grateful to you and the commissioner for granting us audience today. I know that the commissioner is supposed to be at an event. So I'm going to round up because, as you guys can see, I have a boss that is bigger than other bosses. When this boss says I need my mama, he means I need my mama. I really want to thank everybody that joined us today, everybody that asked questions in the comment section. I was able to get some of the questions from the comment section, and also those that joined us in the studio. I'm really grateful that the commissioner has been with us for more than 1.5 hours, even though he was thinking this will only take half hour. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Jermaine, thank you so much for joining, even though you were not aware before. And like you said, we would love to continue something like this. People love when they can speak to the government or the people in power, when you are reachable and you are not just, far off on TV. Both of you, we only see you mostly on television. So today we are seeing you live and direct. Mr. Montosho, we only see both of you on TV, but today we are seeing you live and direct. We're able to talk to you, ask questions, and you're answering our questions. So we really, really appreciate that. And we love if this can continue, if in the future we extend the invitation and you agree to come on so that you can speak with the people. Once again, thanks to everybody that asked questions. Thanks to both of you. Thanks to all the people that joined us in the studio. I think it's only fair for us to allow the commissioner and Mr. Jermaine to continue with whatever it is that they were doing before we started this. And Mr. Jermaine, I'll reach out to you for more contact, and then we can bring on more people. And even you yourself, if you don't mind, once in a while, if you don't mind coming on the show, since you are
sure. I'm here. I'm here for you. Thank you.
In the diaspora. So thank you so much, everyone. And on that note, I want to say that please make sure you watch this video from the beginning, because we might have answered the question that some of you still have. If you're joining us at the end of this, we answered a lot of questions at the beginning, especially with the commissioner. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. It's been real. And
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Until next time, peace out, everyone. Bye.
Peace out. Bye.
Bye.